I brought a research report made by Kang So-hyun, and this our particular article was published through Korea Capital Market Institute and under the section named Capital Market Focus. The title goes this way: Female Participation in the Labor Market and Fertility Rates inside from the research of the Nobel Laurenti in Economic Science. Okay, the 2023 Nobel Prize in Economic Science was awarded to Professor Claudia Gordon for her contribution to enhancing understanding of the factors influencing the female labor force and participation and gender earning gaps. Over the past century, the earning gaps has stemmed from various factors such as discriminatory laws and stereotyped gender roles and limited educational opportunities and constraints on job choices. There are four major factors that must have played negatively, in widening the earning gaps between the men and women, right? The males and female. Okay, one of those factors mentioned in this particular article is discriminatory laws. That means the laws and the constitutions, there is certain boundary where women are discriminated, right? So that men can enjoy the privilege that they have indulged for years. And there's another factor mentioned here: the stereotyped gender roles. Women were thought to have these very important duties, important stewardship, which was taking care of their family members, feeding them, cleaning, doing the dish, particularly reproducing babies and taking care of them, and limited education opportunities and constraint on job choices. However, even after these factors are controlled, the gender earnings gap still exists. Professor Golden attributes the persistent disparity to the division of labor between the men and women after childbirth and intrinsic characteristics of jobs. And men tend to choose high intensity jobs accompanied by a high income. So, high risk, high return. Women are physically limited to work on easy jobs, the jobs that don't require the exposure to the danger or dangerous elements at workplaces. Have you ever seen any woman operating the tower crane tools? Have you ever seen any women maneuvering or driving or forklifting machines? No. Have you ever seen any women working on the CNC machine, like pressing machine? No, I don't think so. Okay. But let's say your mom, she had a job. If she had a job, like disassembling the bombs at a battlefield, okay, and she was charged of dismantling or disassembling the bombs into pieces, and so that her company can survive. No, that's pretty unusual. And so women are only required to do some indoor jobs rather than outdoor jobs, right? which are mostly making workers exposed to tremendous lots of different dangers. All right, here we go. And that means, so the men are supposed to get paid a lot more than women, simply because of the fact that they are exposed to the dangers. Women, relatively, they are not. And here we go. While women often take greater child care responsibilities and opt minds choose for flexible work arrangement, that is horrible. Okay, that is the reason. Women are not given more opportunities to choose a better paid job. Their options are highly limited, constrained by this important duty of childcare. I slightly remember it was in 2003, shortly after my first son Owen was born, and I was here in Gimhae, and my wife and my son were in Changwon, so I had to regularly pay the visit to her parents' house, where my wife and my son were residing, and it was like every Tuesday or every Thursday, I had to visit them, and if my memory serves me well, it was almost like 10:30 at night. Everybody was asleep. I was the only one who was up. That meant that I was in charge of feeding my son and rocking my son. Okay, for the first like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, yes, roughly. It was joyful. It was great. But an hour passed, an hour and a half. My arms started to feel sore and numb. So I tried to lower my son on the ground. And he started crying. And then changing diaper, feeding him, another bottle. Didn't work out at all. And it passed 2 hours. I checked on the clock. The clock said at 12 midnight. Everybody was asleep. I couldn't wake anybody up. All right? Because I was only there once a week. Okay, what about the 7 days? My wife and my mother-in-law, they were taking care of my son. So I had to do my own part. That was horrible then. You know what? I was thinking that, I like the bouncing, yes, back and forth. And with the gravitational law and with this physical law, then I can toss him out of the window. And let's see what's happened. I was thinking, no, what the hell am I thinking of? So I just lowered him, and I asked my wife, I need to go home, bye-bye. And I left it. It was really bad, and it's really hard. Man, we're not born with such intimacy to the child. Okay, intimacy is only available amongst mothers. Man, we, fathers, no. We need to go out there, fight for food, fight for money. We're not fighting for the diaper. We're not fighting for feeding. Okay. In that sense, man, father cannot be proper competitors. Okay, like our mothers, our housewives, our wives are the winners. Okay, let's go back. Okay, and these structural imbalance has resulted in the gender earning gaps. Korea experiences the highest gender earning gaps amongst OECD countries. Sumimasen, while suffering from the low fertility. Selection of the flexible works, 1, or career interruptions. Why? They have to stop in the middle of their career to take care of their newborn babies. I'm telling you, man, rocking babies, no, isn't good for us mentally and can widen such a gap and increase in the opportunity cost associated with the childbirth. I mean, you choose one thing, you have to give up on another. That is the opportunity cost, right? You come here and listen to stupid thing that I speak to you, and you need to give up on something sweet in your own place, home. Okay, that's the opportunity cost, and this opportunity cost for me too. Why? I teach you, and I lose my support of my body, because all right, my larynx isn't good at all. All right, associated with the childbirth, further accelerating the decline in fertility rates. So the problems don't seem to go away just like that. Weird. Okay? The problems have been stacked on top of them. The previous problems, many accumulated year by year. Year by year. All right. And the current situation urgently calls for the reform of the labor incentive structure to effectively address intertwined issues such as the gender earning gap and career interruptions for women and fertility rate. In other words, there's a growing need to transform the labor market structure that highly values long working hours and excessive workload. And these stupid governments, couple days ago or last week, pretty much, they said they proclaimed that working more than 52 hours through the week sounds okay, kind of thing. But if you don't work more than 52 hours per week, you cannot. It's totally fine for you to work straightly, like overnight, 2 days consecutively. Like you work overnight on Monday, you can work overnight on Tuesday, as long as you don't work more than 52 hours. Means 2 nights you work to ash, you work, you got some burns on your ash, and you work so much, then the third day, which is Wednesday, you may turn out to be a corpse. That body, you work 2 days consecutively, right? Non-stop. That's a stupid idea. Okay, let's keep reading. Where are we now? This reform is not only essential to improve gender equality, but also serves as a crucial task for efficiently deploying national talent and ensuring economic sustainability. So, this is my insight on this. Listen up. Once women are forced to choose flexible works, they can't expect their journey in their careers to continue without one single halt, one single stop. Okay? And let us go to the next page 2. Page 2. I like the second paragraph here, page 2. Why don't we read? Korea is currently facing challenges associated with women's career interruption and declining fertility. So, women's career interruption is hardwired, fundamentally with what? A decline in fertility. Okay? They don't want to stop working. They want to continue to get as much as their competitors, man, get paid. And the man, as long as the man don't go to the army, right? They don't have to stop working. Maybe they get sick. But even though they get sick, they can get paid more than healthy women does. Healthy women do. Okay, that's the problem. So, career interruption, and decline in fertility are closely relevant to each other. Don't you think so? What does your mother? What would your mother say if she had to quit her job right now? What sort of problem might happen to you and your family members? And Hyungyu, you might say, probably one thing will happen for sure. What is it? I'm not coming here. Oops. Yeah, maybe. And then you can say, I'm gonna force my mom make me quit here. That's what's gonna happen. All right, women's active labor force participation in childbirth are essential for economic growth and development. Policy measures should be geared toward promoting equal opportunities and eliminating discrimination to support a work-life balance because will pave the crucial foundation for creating a fair social environment and enhancing the life satisfaction of individuals. Has your mother ever said she is satisfied with her current job? Or she said, I'm just getting by. Get by, that means she got no happiness at all from work, but she has to do it. She does it because she has to do it. There's no joy, there's no pleasure, there's no aspiration, there's no earning. Just I am a machine who works. Because I'm an ATM for my sons. Is she happy with what she does? You never asked? She never told you? What kind of relationship you have with your mother? Do you concern? Are you concerned about it? Okay, you can say, should I? All right. I believe the only person who is mentally stable in your family or amongst your family members, including yourself, is your father. Because there's nothing he should be worried about. Retirement. He's going to get paid like a pension money. 연금. Okay? No? Is it your brother then? He's a different species now. Okay, I like it. So the key elements of her thesis here so far is women cannot continue their careers because of child care. Once they choose to be a primary caregiver, they should quit their job. And this disconnection only allows them to have lower paychecks, although they go back to their previous job. Okay? And then what about the people she used to work with? They will be promoted after 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years are, I think, a minimal for a child to be independent from their parents. Because they can talk, they can fetch, they can grab things, understand, they can stay in one spot for at least 1 hour. Of course, there should be a caregiver around the child. But 3 years old, good. You can live like a wane. Wane means 젖을 떼다. You don't have to feed her or him, breastfeeding. Okay? And then, but think about it. 3 years passed. And the guys you used to look down on, bullshit. And then 3 years later, You were just a beginner. You're just like low level, low link personnel. But the guy you used to look down on is now your manager, your supervisor. And then this guy is very bossy. Mr. O, you're supposed to submit this report by the end of this day. Okay. And I got Mr. Doe, and you are just piece of shit, and you think you were just coffee machine, and you were coffee machine. You fetch me coffee, and you fetch me the photocopied file shit, things like that. So women, they're desperate. Once they choose to be a mother, what happens to them? Disconnection of their career. Huge problem, right? Okay, there are, page 3, I am very interested in this division. Okay, there are cohort. There are 5 different cohort groups. All right, the categorizations. Okay, generational patterns of choices between careers and childbirth among college-educated women in the U.S. You know what? Let's take a look at. I was pretty intrigued by the main features of women who got the college degree from 1978 to 1978. Okay, it was like 100 years, exactly 400 years, right? Follow study here. 1878 to 1897, the birth year, and the main features: the women who got high education were childbirth or a career. They're forked path. Let's go forked path: childbirth or a career. They had to make a choice between a childbirth or a career. But what about second cohort? Bridge group, job, then childbirth. It means not from 1900s and 1919, the American women who got the college degree, they could choose to have a child or career. There was 2 options. Okay. There were 2 options. But what about the 1920 to 1945? The bridge group, job. First, they got a job. They got job first. And then they give birth to their babies. And then third pace, 1924 to 1943, the birth year, they had fixed gender roles. They gave birth to babies, then they got jobs. That's amazing, right? That is amazing. And what about the fourth phase? The cohort 4, the year of the birth was 1944 to 1957. The Quiet Revolution. Career, then childbirth. You get it? And what is the difference between job and career? What do you think? What is job and what is career? Job, only the thing that you get to earn money. But career, money is not the only factor. Right? There are others like fulfillment, okay, and self-realization, 자아 성취, and what else? Growth. Okay, but job is only for earnings. And 1958, 1978, in Court 5, the last phase is assisted reproduction, career and childhood. And the career, and they got jobs and they got childbirth all together. They take care of children and they get jobs, they get career. I like that. That is um, the change of the concepts and roles of women from late 19th century till late 20th century. Okay, I like that. I like this combination of 5 different groups. Okay, and page 3, the last paragraph. Why don't we read all together? Court 1 is composed of women born in late 19th century who graduated from college in the early 20th century. They could not reconcile career and family. What does it reconcile? Meaning balance. Okay, they could not balance career and family and suffered from obvious legal and social discrimination against the women. And because they did not have they didn't have a voting right. Okay? They were prohibited to participate in the political activities. And go ahead, including denying them the right to vote. And the majority of the women in this cohort chose family over career, while only a small number of them opted for a successful career track, giving up marriage and childbirth. And page 4, and Court 2, consisting of the women who graduated from college between 1920 and 1945, is referred to as the breach gap. Their activities became prominent during a period characterized by increased demand for the labor in the market. Why? Because of World War II. You know, the manufacturers, they needed workforce, a lot of them, but most men were on a battlefield. The use of the household appliances relieved the burden of the domestic chore. They had to do the dishes with hand. They had to do the laundry with hand. They had to clean the floor with their hands or broomsticks. But they had appliances: vacuum cleaner, microwave, and then what else? The electric pot, and the stoves, and the whipping cream, whipping machine, coffee machine, everything. The appliance. All right, relieve the burden of the domestic chores, while development of typewriters led to higher demand for office work and consequently boosting the demand for the female workforce. Still, the job they were expecting to have were pretty limited to certain extents, like a typewriter or the manual job, like a very, very easy and mundane jobs, simple jobs. All right? As education served as a means for women to enhance their value in the labor market, this pushed up the demand for the secondary education and led to women's higher education level. Despite these advancements, however, the lack of the jobs resulting from the Great Depression ended up prohibiting the employment of married women. During this period, the women tend to leave the labor market after getting married. This is problem. Problem after problem. Okay, why? Men were the mainstream. Everything was under their control. Okay? The man did not want women to be as high as them in social systems, hierarchy. That's bullshit. If you do say that at this time, and you're going to be forced to face illegal documents, you're going to be sued. So you got to be zip up your filthy mouth.